we doing, folks? This is the Pop Music Freak back with another Song Facts Countdown video. We are up to number 891 on my list of top 1,000 favorite songs of all time, taking you through a musical journey through the time capsule. Time capsule stops at 1980 for this song. This is, in a kind of a way, an interesting point in the career of Elton John. After absolutely being the most dominant force in pop music for about 5 years straight, 1972 to about 76, kind of had a little drop off towards the end of the 70s. His hits weren't hitting as much as they were before. In fact, he did not hit the top 20 of the Billboard Hot 100 for about 2.5 years after the hit Sorry Seems to Be the Hardest Word, which is in my countdown. We'll get to that one at some point. A couple of years there, he was just not hitting as well. It was a little bit of a slump. There's a lot of reasons. Some people think the dominance of disco kind of pushed artists like him, the singer-songwriter type, back. There was an interview in Rolling Stone where he was very, very open about himself, and maybe a good chunk of fans were not into his openness. Let's put it that way. But in 1979, things started to climb back uphill again. He hit the top 10 with the song "Mama Can't Buy You Love," produced by Tom Bell, and had a Spinners singing background on it. That seemed to hit pretty well. It was a little more almost disco-ish, kind of a soft, slow disco tune. 1980 rolls around. He has an even bigger hit. He does a love song, something he hadn't done in a few years. Song "Little Jeannie," which is the song we're featuring right now at 891, was a song that I enjoyed. I was happy to hear him do a song like that again. So let me go over the song facts with you, and I hope you enjoy this. "Little Jeannie" is a song written by English musician Elton John and Gary Osborne, recorded by John, and released as a single in 1980 from John's album 21 at 33. It reached number 3 on the Billboard Pop Chart in the United States, becoming the singer's biggest U.S. hit since 1976's "Don't Go Breaking My Heart," a duet with singer Kiki D, and his highest charting solo hit since 1975's "Island Girl." It became John's 5th number 1 on the U.S. Adult Contemporary chart and was certified gold by the RIAA. It peaked at number 3 in both Billboard and Cashbox. In Canada, it hit number 1 on the RPM 100 National Singles Chart. In the US, it would be John's highest charting single co-written with Gary Osborne, while in the UK, where the song only reached number 33, Blue Eyes would eventually hold that honor of the highest charting song, co-written with Gary Osborne. Anyway, despite its impressive performance on the US charts, Elton John has rarely performed Little Jeannie live, doing so only on his 1980 tour and during 2000's one-night-only concerts. I do distinctly remember being in Central Park on September 13th, 1980, when he did a free concert, and 300,000 people showed up on the Great Lawn. Yes, I was there, little 11-year-old me. The 11-year-old freak was there. Anyway, composition. Composed in the key of B-flat, which allowed its notable saxophone solo to ring out, which was performed by Jim Horn. How ironic, his name is Jim Horn. I don't know, it strikes me as funny, it always does. Anyway, let's see. It can be described as having an up-tempo ballad feel, with its electric, similar in feel with its electric piano, to his earlier 1973 hit Daniel. Some people compare it to that. Musically, it's pretty relatively reminiscent of the style. Anyway, critical reception. Billboard's reviewer noted let me try again in English. Take 2. Billboard's reviewer noted that this melodic mid-tempo ballad recalls the consummate commercial craftsmanship which characterized John's output during a time of Caribou in 1974. And some brass horn fills constitute the only real update of John's traditional sound. Cashback said the Latin-tinged flavored percussives and brass add a new exciting dimension to the mid-tempo beat. Alright, in terms of personnel, who performed on the song? Well, of course, Elton John on piano, Chuck Findley on trumpet and trombone, Jerry Hay on flugelhorn. Jim Horn did the brass arrangement, the piccolo, flute, and the alto saxophone I mentioned. James Newton Howard played the Fender Rhodes and the Yamaha CS80. Reggie McBride, bass guitar. Nigel Olson played drums, as he always did on Elton John songs. Richie Zito, acoustic guitar. And the backing vocals, we had 4 people on the backing vocals. Bill Champlin, who would be a member of Chicago down the road in a few years. Max Groenthal was backing vocals. Dee Murray, of course. Can't recognize him. You can't miss him. And, of course, Elton John supplied his own background vocals. So, in terms of charts and certifications, let's look this over. He did the best in Canada, going to number 1 with this song. Hit number 2 on the Adult Contemporary chart in Canada, number 1 on the Adult Contemporary chart here, and according to Billboard. Switzerland had reached number 4. New Zealand number 5. South Africa number 8. Australia number 9. For the year 1980, according to Billboard, it ranked as the number 16 hit of the year in 1980, which is pretty impressive considering it was not a number 1 hit. It was a number 3 hit. Usually the top, very top, are number 1 songs, with some exceptions, as we know. All right, sales and certifications. In USA, it sold 1 million copies. It was certified gold. In Canada, it sold over 75,000 copies, which is gold in Canada. All right, so that's it. That's what we have on Elton John's Little Jeannie, song number 891 on my list of 1,000 favorites. Hope you enjoyed this song fact countdown video. I will post a link to the video, the music video, in my description. I hope you like the video. I hope you share it. I hope you subscribe to the channel. I've had a big kind of a jump into the 1200s. So thank you all for climbing on board. Let's keep this train rolling. All right. So that will be all for now. Thank you very much. I wish you all peace and love.